Grab that overstuffed carry-on bag and your one personal item. You're going to need your passport too, because you and I are going to 14 different countries on 5 different continents next. I'm Mike Quackenbush, and this is Till We Make It. And it's cold this morning here in Philadelphia, but probably not as frigid as it is 800 miles north in Riverview, New Brunswick. Let's start in Canada. Up in the Maritimes is where we'll find Innovative Hybrid Wrestling and their March event, Genesis. And in this moment, I'm torn between making a Sega joke and a Land of Confusion joke. This event marks the beginning of both their women's division and their tag team division. Thus, Genesis catch them live at the Coverdale Center on March 14th. If we cross the border into the US, we can make it to Portland, Maine in time for the Bissell Brothers Bash on March 21st. It's being headlined by the former Fandango himself. Dirty Dango returns to the Forest City and Limitless Wrestling. And if you happen to be passing through the south side of Portland, pop in and see Maine Escape Games. They've got the best escape room north of Natick, Mass there. It's called Dr. Jem's Time Trap. They're right by the main mall. Tell them your old pal Mike sent you. Now let's cruise on down Route 95 till we cross the Brooklyn Bridge and find ourselves at Soccer Roof on Atlantic Avenue. This is where we'll find War, and by that I don't mean the promotion down in Ecuador. We'll cover that in the South American section. Nor do I mean Wrestling Allegiance Rockhampton. We'll cover that in the Australian section. I'm talking about War. The next event from Wrestling Is Now, and it'll be headlined by a heavyweight title match pitting champion Adrian Santos against challenger Hamlet Hurts You. I was there in person to watch Santos crawl his way past JJ Does in a no disqualification match, barely hanging on to his title. And while it is not exactly certain whether or not the champ is ripe for the picking, this is absolutely certain. Hamlet Hurts You is poised to be a breakout star in 2025. These two clash on Saturday night, March the 8th. Next, you and I are heading south to Augusta, Georgia, and Next Level Championship Wrestling. They're back with episode 2 on March 29th. This event will feature an old rival of mine, Sal Renaro, and the debut of the suplex assassin, Alex Kane. Next Level is building toward the crowning of their first champion, so right now is a great time to get in on the ground floor of a brand new flavor of pro wrestling. We're going to have to cross the equator, if only by a few steps, to talk about this next event. The Ecuadorian scene has wrestling companies embedded in Guayaquil, embedded in Tulcan, but let's focus in on the beautiful capital city of Quito for a moment. That is where the promotion War will present their next card, Massacre. And stemming from a wild match just 6 days ago that ended in a no contest, the South American Championship will be contested one final time between Santa Fe and number 1 contender, Canuck. And Canuck, if you are not the cousin of Canek, you should be. This all goes down on March the 29th. If we travel a little bit down the west coast of South America, and when I say a little bit, I do mean about 1,100 miles, a celebration is set for March 22nd. The Gladiadores are staging their Gladiversario in Lima, Peru. They've got a stacked card where all the threads from the previous year are coming to a climax at a single event. And making this all the more special is the announcement of a special referee for the main event. The most renowned Peruvian wrestler of all time, Apocalypsis, is coming out of retirement to don the stripes and referee the match for the Grand Campeonato between Bad Boy Jr. and Mancia. We're exchanging our soles for pesos and heading to the heart of Chile next, to Santiago. On March 7th, Cinco Luchas has one of their traditional Friday night cards with, you guessed it, 5 matches. It's right there in the name, Cinco Luchas. The first match I ever wrestled in Chile was on one of the Friday night cards 4 Cinco Luchas. And I can tell you, the atmosphere inside that packed boveda with Chilean wrestling fans is simply magical. These events always sell out. Smart kids queue up early. Before we depart the South American continent, we've got one more stop to make. We're heading to southern Chile and the town of Temuco. It is there that Hit Lucha Libre is staging their 4th annual Hit and Rumble. It's a 30 wrestler battle royal, and heading directly into the chaos of this over the top rope rumble is Matt Medina.
My name is Matt Medina, the undeniable of Hit Lucha Libre. And today, I'm here to talk to you about Hit and Rumble, where 30 wrestlers will fight for a shot at the world title, anytime, any place. But they don't know I have the upper hand. And at the end of the day, Matt Medina will be the last man standing. And that is undeniable.
Now it's time we set sail all the way across the Pacific Ocean, heading for the land down under. Let's start our Australian trek in the state of Victoria. That's where Alpha Pro Wrestling delivers their next event, Headstrong, in Thomastown. And they have a stacked card. It's got 4 championship matches plus a last man standing match. And I'm going to be watching every single bout on this card very carefully because I'm going to be debuting there next month. If we drive a bit north, that's where we'll find Slam! Exclamation point, and the capital city of Canberra. Slam! Exclamation point recently drew 2 of the biggest houses in Aussie wrestling history. And this year, they are looking to go even bigger. And they've got a big main event on tap for March 29th, when the champion Dan Archer meets the challenge of #1 contender Caveman Ugg. True story. The first time I was ever on tour in Australia, Caveman Ugg nearly killed me. He was wrestling, but I was commentating. Slam! Exclamation point. This took so many takes. We're not doing this one again. If we rock up to the Great Western Hotel on March the 1st in Rockhampton, you know what we'll find? Wrestling Allegiance Rockhampton. On their event Ghost Town, Angus Sharp challenges Tyson DeHaan for the Central Queensland title, and the winner of the VIP Battle Royal will find themselves suddenly thrust into the title picture because they will get an immediate shot at Millennium Champion Jason Storm. You know, if we fly from the Gold Coast Airport, Qantas Airlines, who totally isn't sponsoring this video, but totally should, will make us change planes down in Sydney. But if we can make it to Manila in the Philippines by March 23rd, it'll all be worth it. That's when Filipino Pro Wrestling is taping the coolest show in all of wrestling, Astig. They've got a one-night tournament to determine who will be the new #1 contender to their championship, which is held by Jeff Cobb. Will it be Quattro, Chino Guinto, Robin, or Mike Madrigal? We'll find out. Plus, in tag team action is my very favorite Filipino tag team, the YOLO Twins.
I'm Johan Loris.
And I'm Logan Loris.
And we are the YOLO Twins. You know they say twins are a tag team since birth.
They got a connection that's special, like no other. And in the ring,
you're gonna see that connection.
and no longer are we battling to win. We're shooting to kill.
And an FPW Astig.
We are gonna remain indomitable,
uncontested,
undefeated.
Let me hit you with the kind of wrestling trivia I love. Do you know what pro wrestling company is staging more live events in the month of March than any other? No, it's not Dragon Gate, although that's a good educated bet. No, it's not the WWE. They have 24 in the month of March. Well, believe it or not, in Pattaya, Thailand, not only are they known for their gorgeous beaches and their vibrant nightlife, now they're known for pro wrestling too, because Paradise Sports Entertainment puts on a live wrestling event there every single night. They're running 31 shows in the month of March. I hope you brought your travel pillow because this next one's gonna have to be an overnight flight. It's about 19 hours from Thailand to the Mediterranean. Wrestling has returned to the island of Cyprus, and I know World of Sport legend Tony Costas must be smiling about that. Absolute Cyprus Wrestling just debuted back in December, but they're picking up steam very quickly. On March 23rd, they'll be in Nicosia with Inferno, undoubtedly my favorite X-Men crossover. And just like Cyprus is a blend of a variety of cultures, influences from Greece and from Turkey, etc., so too is their roster. It's got a diverse international blend, as well as featuring the up-and-coming generation of Cypriot wrestlers. Just a scant 1,400 miles to the northwest is Budapest in Hungary. And on March 22nd, Hungarian Championship Wrestling, HCW, will deliver Vendetta. Not an X-Men crossover as far as I know. They are busy filming the second season of their TV show, and the first season is now complete, and it's available here on YouTube. Just search up HCW Hungary, and you'll find it. Over in Italy, March the 9th is Judgment Day, and the journey to the main event has been an epic one for the masked luchador Picchio. If you're all caught up on SIW's weekly show System, then you know it's been one crazy plot twist and turn after another building to this moment. But at last, Picchio is set to face Vittorio Bruni, who for my money is the best unsigned talent in Europe right now. Despite his best efforts, including stealing Picchio's mask, Bruni must put his superior championship on the line when SIW plays Florence, and clearly the champ isn't happy about it.
Picchio, I told you, quit this match, but you chose not to listen, and now it's too late. The die is cast. I don't know if you're a believer or not, but you better become one soon. Pray to your God, beg for mercy, because come Judgment Day, in this ring, you won't find it in me.
If you need to get caught up on System before Judgment Day arrives, there is a link appearing up in the corner that will take you there. And they recently rebooted the series, so the current season is season 0, and some episodes now feature English subtitles. On March 15th, Pro Wrestling Holland finally comes back to Rotterdam in the Netherlands. And this event will feature the defending PWH Women's Champion Tank, who is fresh off her tour in Japan, where she just debuted for Marigold, and hopefully, with a little bit of luck, this will mark the in-ring return of the masked wonder of Dutch wrestling himself, Tengwa, who's coming back off a pretty serious injury suffered last year. I'm rooting for you, buddy. If we set sail across the North Sea, we can make it to Parkwood in Kent just in time for UKPW's March 23rd event called Fury in the Woods. UKPW is a really inspiring success story, which somehow has gone overlooked in the super saturated British wrestling scene. Just a few years ago, this promotion was teetering on the brink of extinction, and now they are heading into their most ambitious tour year ever, and they sell out venues everywhere that they go. And that is relevant to Fury in the Woods, because the Parkwood venue is the smallest venue UKPW will play this year. It is guaranteed to sell out, so don't wait. Get your tickets right now at ukpw.shop. I think it's time we shine a light on a country that's gotten very little love here on the Till We Make It channel, Northern Ireland. It's up there that Titanic Wrestling has got a very busy weekend in store, March 8th and 9th. They're going to be crisscrossing the country and bringing their family-friendly flavor of pro wrestling with them. On Saturday, March the 8th, they're just outside of Londonderry in Eglinton. And then the very next afternoon, they're all the way over in Belfast. Their card over in Belfast has already got the Dark Horse against Renzo Rose teed up. Is there a pro wrestling event even nearer to you than the ones that I covered in today's episode? If so, tell me about it down below in the comments, even if it's one you are performing on. Go ahead, plug it in the comments. It's totally fine. And if you're looking for something fresh and fun in your wrestling diet, get out and support one of the companies mentioned in today's video. There are small wrestling companies looking to grow their fan base the world over. The big companies that make the sports entertainment sausage, they don't need your help and support, but these smaller companies most definitely do.